Hey, my name is Badass Benny. Welcome to my channel. If you're an ACE, AMAC, and sex human trafficking survivor, you're in the right place. And it won't cost you a penny to like and subscribe and to share worldwide. And please leave a comment down below on the video. And this is storytelling. I am an 11-year survivor from domestic violence with a man when I was in my 20s, and had three children. And I forgot to mention a few things, so I'm going to do that now. I do know my ex is a AMAC survivor, and learned about it towards the end of it was after we got a divorce when he divulged more to me, but I did know about that he was an AMAC survivor while we were married. And the way that he acted is very common for men who are sexual assault survivors and are having their partner pregnant, that they do get violent on them. And there's a relation to it in regards to their own sexual assault. And that's where, when he was throwing rocks at me when I was pregnant, the same thing. Which doesn't make it okay, and that's why we need to work on our sexual assault issues, inner stuff, so you don't harm other people and yourself and, that sort of thing. And I do want to tell you that during my drinking days, I was in my 20s, my oldest, the kid's dad and I went out target shooting with a gun, and he asked, let's go, and I'm like, okay. I've never shot a gun or done anything, and I had been drinking. He had vermouth, was an old wine, so we're drunk on vermouth, doing crazy eights out in the wheat fields, and target shooting, right? So we come in town. He tells me to hold the gun, and it goes off, and I grabbed it by the trigger, and it went off, y'all. Okay? And to this day, I will always imprint it in my brain in a permanent manner. I saw where the bullet hole went, and we had a little VW bug, and I saw my daughter's big blue eyes in the back of the VW in her car seat. And I missed her. Missed her. And I'm grateful she's with me. She's here. And you would think that I would stop drinking after that. I didn't. But I've never touched a gun since. I dismantled that gun and threw it in the river. We took the I took the kid's dad to. We went home, and at that time there was a man there we saw in the town. He was riding his bike, and it was a guy. I told Joe I don't want him coming by the house because he tried to flirt with me when I was pregnant while he wasn't there, and it was just gross. And so Joe tries to run him over in the car. I'm like, I just want to go home. And so we get home. The guy comes in on his bike. Like, what are you doing? You trying to run me over? Blah, blah, blah. Joe hands me the gun. I grab it by the trigger again. No, right? The first time it sobered me up. And he hands it to me, and one goes off. And where does it go off? Hits the dad right in the knee, or right up in here. And the guy takes off. Had to take Joe to the hospital. They did surgery, and it was an accident. And I did, to this day, when the kid's dad, his wife, he got remarried, and his wife had a stroke and he nowhere to go, so I gave him my trailer. And I told him, I don't want to hear about this anymore. Um, I don't owe you anything. And this is what I can do for you. So in recovery, I try to take care of my own side of the street and what I've done. And you can't make other people take responsibility and accountability for anything. You just take care of your own side of the street and have control of yourself. When we lived in Paradise, this before we had kids, and I thought somebody was in the house, and we lived up Barber Lane and everything, and so he's up walking around with the gun, and I'm like, Joe, it's dark, and then I get up, Joe, and then all of a sudden I got a gun in my face. I have no idea where he got it, it was just in my face. So a lot of that, I remember he would take off and I was taking care of his mom. She had a stroke. And I was, at one time, an IHSS worker, but I wasn't her worker anymore. But they would just leave me with her all day, And one time I got mad at the kid's dad and I threw a telephone at the window, Just being in the relationship made me someone I didn't want to be. And it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And that's how it does in domestic violence. It just gets worse and worse and worse. So if you're in it, get out of it. It's like being a frog in a blender. You just gotta, and sometimes that's what happened when I married Mara. I didn't know I was a frog in a blender again. I'm like, well, how did I get here? So that's why you gotta work on the stuff. I think that's all. I think I got it all out. That's what I wanted to tell you all. And I've gone and done service. I've been to the Willows Women's Jail. I've gone in there and told my stories, and it was a eye-opening for me. I've never been to jail or prison. I've not raped or murdered or killed anybody or hurt anybody. In fact, I don't like violence, and it triggers me, and I stay away from it. I stay away from toxic people. I don't like talking negative about folks and this and that. But I tell you what, I do know sexual assault. And I know what's going on today with Donald Trump being in office and Melania as well. And it's very disturbing and sick what's happening, and the world is watching, and we must stand up for children. And I'm a child advocate and mental health advocate. I'm a advocate by heart. Depends on, I've done advocacy for my mom and disability, all kinds of stuff. So I ask that you stand up for what is right. Stand up as a parent, as an AMAC survivor, sex, human trafficking, and say no more. No more denial, no more cover-ups, no more, and the people that are covering up are survivors themselves. They're just hurt, traumatized people themselves, and a lot of sexual assault survivors will go and get one degree after the other. All right, well, thank you for listening. This is my storytelling, and I'm staying with it. And I think I've told you some of my darkest secrets already. But, in recovery we say we're as sick as our secrets, and I don't have any. What are you going to do to take care of yourself today?